Good evening. We'll start the session at 6. So good evening, everyone. My name is Palak Shah. And before I get to who I am, I would like to really thank BabyChakra from the bottom of my heart for having me here and also for providing this amazing platform to all the parents It's really nice to see that, so many parents can connect, solve their doubts, and kind of, feel the feeling of togetherness on this app. So it's a really fab job that you all are doing, guys. More about me now. So, my name is Palak, like I told you before, and I've been in the field of education for about 8 years now. I'm a certified Cambridge teacher. Apart from that, I also run the Teacher's Co. The Teacher's Co is basically a platform that conducts workshops based on math and science, which are hands on and curriculum based. You can follow us on Instagram right here if my screen is visible. This is our logo that we follow. So this is what you can find on Instagram. It's called The Teacher's Co. Please do follow us. So basically, teaching has not just been my profession all this while, but it is my passion. It is something that I have been doing out of my love for children and the love for creativity and the love for doing something to change this world. And that's what we all teachers strive each day and keep working hard again and again. What the topic for today is basically education in today's changing world. As we all can see that due to the COVID-19, education has taken a major leap. There has been a sudden change in the way we teach, the strategies we use, the platforms that are used, and all these things are, very difficult to adapt to immediately by children as well as by teachers equally. However, still, each one of us keeps striving and keeps improving. But there are also major challenges that are faced. For example, I'm sure the major concern that all parents feel in this current time is that how do I keep my child engaged online? So, because of the online teaching that is happening in schools or through workshops, summer camps, everything is online. So, the child is basically stuck in front of the laptop for majority of the day, and older children are still able to somewhat adapt to it and kind of pay attention, but for younger children it becomes a major challenge because they do not find sitting on the laptop obviously in front of the screen, having a teacher talk to them, do some actions, have some activities throughout the day. It is very difficult to keep and grasp their attention and have them, most importantly, seated in that one place, which is why teachers are constantly striving to come up with new activities, new materials, new hands-on ways of doing things. And another challenge with teaching is the availability of resources. So because everything is not so easily available, stationery stores are not open everywhere, not everyone has access to those those items. It becomes difficult for everybody to kind of go on with their daily lives and conduct the sessions. However, there are few tips that I have for the parents that will really help the children and kind of make the teaching and learning experience a little more simpler. So, for beginners, you need to set aside a timetable for the children. So, you have a timetable, you list it down with your child. A parent should not individually prepare a timetable. This is something that needs to be done along with the child so that the child takes ownership of it. Only if a child has created the timetable himself or herself will they feel like actually following it, because that's why they have agreed to certain rules when you're putting up the timetable. So you sit with your child, you prepare a proper schedule day wise with timings that also include free play time for the children. It could be activity time, it could be just doing nothing for the child, let them play with toys at home. But all this needs to be included in a proper set timetable, and the parent needs to make sure that this timetable is followed day in day out. There should not be a single change done to this timetable, because once a child feels that it is okay to change the timetable for some or the other reason, or it's okay, we can do this task later and come back to it, they're not going to stick to it in the long run. So it is always good to kind of prepare a proper timetable, make a chart of it, and put it up on their wall or notice board or wherever they have in their home, where they can see it on a daily basis. Apart from this, there are lots of other things that parents can do to also help their children. COVID has not just been a boon in a way, because there are so many parents who previously did not get much time to spend with their children, but now can actually, spend that time with their children, do what they always wanted to. So things like, cooking together, dancing together, doing dance classes together, Zumba together, reading together, not just in the night during storytelling time, it could also be at other times. So these kind of things would really create a bond between the parent and the child. The child will feel that the parent is available for them and is there to listen to them whenever he or she needs. Okay, so set a time aside to spend with your child, and in that, you can allow your child to decide to do whatever he or she wants. This could be anything that they like. It could be as simple as doing a craft activity together, making cookies on one of the day, baking a cake on another day. It could also be household chores. They don't necessarily have to be things which are planned in advance and you have prepared the resources for it and you are striving hard to keep your child busy. Children don't need to be kept busy. They can be involved in whatever you are doing on a daily basis. So if you're a mother, you can always make your child sit next to you in the kitchen or sit on the side and look at you. Looking is also teaching. So you're teaching the child what you're doing. He or she will take interest in it, and tomorrow you never know what skills are learned through that means. And whatever behavior you would like your child to show, it is really important that first the parent models the same behavior. So if you want your child to wake up early or sleep early, you need to model the same behavior to them. Children don't learn unless they are shown how it's to be done. Many a times, there are parents that keep telling their children, don't watch so much TV, don't be on your phone so much, or don't use the iPad for so long. However, these parents often are on the iPad for a very long time or on the phone for a very long time. And when their children see this, they feel a sense of disbelief that I am not allowed to do this, then why is my mom or why is my dad doing this? Why are they not told anything? Why am I the only one that is punished? And when the child feels like this, they start to rebel. They do not want to listen to what you're saying anymore. So a mismatch happens between two people, which is why it is very important to model the behavior. If you want your child to help you in household chores, you do them yourself and show them how it can be done in a very fun way. It could be as simple as sweeping the floor with music on. Okay, it need not be something really fancy. It need not be lots of resources gathered up or lots of toys put up, and the child is told do this, do that. Need not have so many instructions. It can be very simple. And best behavior and best skills are learned at home when you're doing something on a daily basis with them. I have another tip for the parents is a lot of parents these days are getting very anxious that is my child losing out on time, the learning time. They feel that schools are not open. So, basically everything is happening online. So how is the child going to be able to learn the same way they were learning at school? How that interaction is missing, the touch is missing. Will my child lag behind by a year? But honestly, this is not the case. There is so much that the children can do at home, and there is so much time that they can always cover up these things later as well. The teachers, they know once school begins, once COVID ends, they know how to kind of get back everything and start right from scratch again. So you need to trust your teachers and you need to stop pressurizing your children to perform more or to take more online classes or to kind of do things which they would not be doing in other ways. You don't need to make them study extra right now just because they are not going to school, because that's not important. Studying just does not happen in school or through classes. Studying also happens at home on a daily basis. It is really very simple. So do take it slow. You're not alone in this. There are lots of parents. All parents are in this together. All children are in this together, and each one is striving and struggling in their own way to give their best to their children. Everybody feels that I want to give my personal best to my child. I don't want my child to lag behind. However, this is not true. Your child is not going to lag behind. You need to trust this, and you need to enjoy this time that you have at home with your child, because tomorrow, once everything gets back to normal, you're going to think, oh, I should have actually used that time more effectively and spent more time with my child. Because once school starts, your child will be busy back in school, and then some co-curricular classes and tuitions and sleep, and you might have work. Everybody's lives get back to what they were, and nobody has much time for each other. So cherish this time and spend how much ever time you can with each other, because honestly, this time will not come again. This is once in a lifetime kind of a situation. So it's best to make the most out of this and spend how much ever time you can with your family. Your children are need not just be learning from you or from teachers. They could also be learning one particular thing from their grandmother, something from their grandfather. It could be their father teaching them something related to computers. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can teach your child, open up, this is Word, this is Excel, you make this, make a graphic chart on PowerPoint. It could be skills could be learned in that way. You can sit together as a family, play cards, play different games that involve child's development, brain development. There are memory games. There are lots of things that you can do with everyday resources. You can play census game at home using different everyday resources that are available. So there are so many things that you can always keep doing with your child, and which need not necessarily be curriculum related. Yes, curriculum is important, but it will catch up. It's not the end. Okay, so your child will cover up whatever he or she is missing out at the moment, and the learning is not going to be left behind. So everybody needs to understand this fact that you need to go slow. Okay, breathe, basically. And also, another important parenting tip out here is to praise your child. In everyday's rush and in everyday's rat race, we forget to kind of praise our child for the little things that they do. They might learn a very small skill, like it could be, washing vessels at home or cooking you a dish. It could be anything. So, whenever your child does something nice, or is making a creative crafty card for you and gives you, please praise. Use the praising words as much as you can to lift up your child's mood, because the change is not just for us but majorly for them also, since they cannot go out, they don't have the playground facilities or their friends to meet on a daily basis like they used to do in school. So they are also undergoing through a lot of emotions. They must be thinking that, why are we stuck at home? Even though majority of the children know what is the virus all about and it is so important to be at home, but the younger batch especially, they are still confused. They feel that, okay, we were going to the garden every day, now suddenly what happened? Why are we not going? They don't have the capacity to understand what is happening outside in the world. So it's really important for you to be calm and not stress as much as you can. Make play at home fun and creative as possible. Model good behavior. Make a timetable and go as slow as you can, because it's really important for the child to breathe first, take small steps rather than jumping on and doing bigger things. I would like to end this session with a beautiful quote that one child, one teacher, one book, one pen can change the world. And the world is all in their hands. So please motivate them, support them to work harder, to work better, and be them with their at all the steps. If they fall, you can help them. Thank you so much. We'll take questions now. Hi, Ayushi. Thank you. I'm glad you found this session insightful. I hope this really helps you. Thank you so much, everyone.